One man who does not share President Trump's optimism is former U.S. Congressman Ron Paul, and he joins us live now from Texas. Always a pleasure to have you on the programme. So what do you make of Trump's record? Why, in your view, is it not perhaps as positive as the figures seem to suggest? His supporters would say the stock market's going up, jobs are being created. Is that not worthy of praise?
Well, if we're all true, there's partial truth there. Things are a little bit better. If you're in the stock market and a wealthy person, you're doing quite well. But what we're forgetting here when we listen to this rhetoric of all this optimism is that there's a large segment of our population that's having a difficult time. We have two types of society here, the lower 50% and the top 10 or 15%. And the economy is doing well for the wealthy, but not for the poor. And where there is prosperity and more jobs, it depends on debt. Yes, an individual can feel very good if they have a line of credit to the bank, but eventually that line of credit runs out. We, in this country, benefit because we have the reserve currency of the world. We can run up a lot of debt, and we can spend a lot of money. And even with that, we've had a great deal of difficulty in these last 8 years trying to get out of the recession. And I quite frankly don't believe we're really out of that recession, but believe me, we have a lot more debt. It's self-limiting, and I think before this year is out, the amount of debt that we have is going to be a great burden because interest rates are creeping up. And all of a sudden, that's going to make our budgetary problems very difficult to handle.
You went further than that in an interview recently, saying that the system is coming apart, very direct language. What did you actually mean by that? Because there are those who would disagree with you, saying that you know, the impending economic meltdown is always coming, but the system just keeps going on, does it not?
Yes, that is true. You know, in Austrian economics, which I follow, which is quite a bit different from Keynesian economics or socialist economics, it teaches that you can see the direction of an economy and predict, you know, bubbles, but you can't predict timing. We do know that if you have a central bank and they have credibility and that they can print money and seem to stimulate things, we know that there's a bubble coming. And I see everything we do as a big bubble. And all those QEs that we have dealt with in these last 8 years have just created a huge bubble, and everything is in excess, whether it's our military budget, our overseas engagements, whether it's the welfare state, and that bubble will come to an end. But Austrian economics say you may know the direction of the country, but you don't know whether it's going to be tomorrow or next year. There will be some event that will pop up, and the fragility of the economy will all of a sudden become apparent, and there'll be a rush to the exits, and this has to be reversed. We will have to pay for our extravagance.